I acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands in which this conference is being held and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I acknowledge the honored guests on the panel, including Minister Hatato, Minister Wang, other ministers, and the Pacific Trade Commissioner. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the conference organizers for the kind invitation and extend special appreciation to the conference chair, Professor Alan Dahl, and the session chair, Professor Horiyat Babakan, for their thoughtful coordination and support. It is my pleasure to present here today. While I regret being unable to join you in person, I trust my contribution will meaningfully enrich our session's discussions. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to see the session theme focusing on regional cooperation between Northern Australia and the Indo-Pacific. ASEAN is eager to deepen its engagement with Australia through a more relational and collaborative approach, with the firm belief that such cooperation will yield mutual benefits. This is especially compelling because ASEAN stands as a natural gateway for Australia into the broader Indo-Pacific region, and Northern Australia is where this connection is most immediate and strategic. With its proximity to key regional sea lanes, a rich endowment of resources, and trade ties with Southeast Asia, Northern Australia is uniquely positioned to serve as Australia's frontline in deepening ties with ASEAN. It is in this context that our gathering today takes on added significance, reflecting our shared commitment to strengthening the bonds between Southeast Asia and Australia, as well as the growing recognition that Northern Australia can play a bigger role in advancing this partnership. Anchored in geography, shaped by history, and driven by a common vision for a peaceful, stable, and prosperous region, our enduring partnership has fostered meaningful economic collaboration that supports development, resilience, and shared prosperity throughout the Indo-Pacific region. As we deepen integration and cooperation across the Indo-Pacific, trade and investment remain central to driving regional growth, creating jobs, and supporting sustainable development. Within this dynamic landscape, ASEAN's economic ties with Australia and other Indo-Pacific partners continue to grow in both scale and strategic importance. I am pleased to share that in 2024, ASEAN-Australia two-way trade reached $96.2 billion, with Australia's foreign direct investment inflow into ASEAN valued at $2.4 billion. ASEAN remains Australia's second largest trading partner, while Australia ranks as ASEAN's ninth largest trading partner. In terms of investment, ASEAN is the sixth largest investor in Australia, while Australia stands as the 11th largest investor in ASEAN. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Northern Australia, with its geographic proximity and economic complementarities with Southeast Asia, represent a natural gateway and a strategic hub for advancing our shared priorities. The region's abundant resources, innovative industries, and multicultural communities provide a robust foundation for collaboration in trade, investment, education, and sustainable development. As a significant note in Indo-Pacific connectivity, Northern Australia offers unique opportunities to strengthen regional supply chains, enhance maritime cooperation, and foster technological innovation. The Northern Australia Action Plan 2024-2029 built around 6 policy priority areas encompassing economic growth, healthy and resilient communities, and protection of environment and cultural heritage, presents clear opportunities for meaningful and practical collaboration between Northern Australia, ASEAN, and the broader Indo-Pacific community. In this context, the upgraded ASEAN, Australia, New Zealand Free Trade Area, UNSWATA, and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, serve as inclusive platforms to transform high-level commitments into real outcomes. These agreements offer comprehensive frameworks for trade, liberalization, investment facilitation, and economic and technical cooperation across the Indo-Pacific. Strengthening our cooperation through UNSWATA on RCEP will ensure that our engagement continues to be substantive, impactful, and future-oriented, especially in key sectors such as energy, agribusiness, connectivity, and human capital development. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN is standing at a pivotal moment in shaping its future trajectory. We are now focused on implementing strategic plans across our political security, social-cultural, and economic pillars, as well as in connectivity to realize the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 as adopted by ASEAN leaders at the 46th ASEAN Summit in May 2025. Allow me to focus on the AEC Strategic Plan 2026-2030. In developing this plan, ASEAN conducted extensive consultations with a broad range of stakeholders, including external partners such as the Government of Australia. The plan is grounded in evidence-based analysis, drawing insights from the AEC post-2025 study and the end-term review of the AEC Blueprint 2025. This approach ensures the plan is both forward-looking and responsive to the evolving needs of business, governments, and communities across our region. Implementation of the AEC Strategic Plan will be guided by 6 key strategic goals designed to transform ASEAN into a region that is action-oriented, sustainable, enterprising, adaptable, nimble, and inclusive beyond 2025. ASEAN will intensify efforts to realize a single market driven by innovation, sustainability, and a productive workforce, ultimately reinforcing our role in global value chains and advancing our trajectory towards becoming the world's 4th largest economy by 2030. Of particular significance, one strategic goal focuses on enhancing ASEAN's adaptability by strengthening our proactive approach to advancing the global ASEAN agenda. This will help ensure that our trade agreements and cooperation frameworks remain modern, relevant, and fit for purpose in an increasingly complex and rapidly changing global landscape. The Northern Australia experience also highlights the critical role of subnational governments in translating regional strategies into tangible outcomes. ASEAN shares this perspective, recognizing that a strong synergy of national and subnational ownership is essential to delivering on our regional commitments. One of our strategic measures supports this by encouraging practical implementation and systematic progress tracking at the national level. This is vital for narrowing development gaps and ensuring that the benefits of economic integration reach all segments of society. Indeed, for the ASEAN Strategic Plan 2026-2030 to succeed, alignment between regional priorities and national efforts is crucial. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, at a time when troubling megatrends of global fragmentation and growing protectionism are pushing some nations to retreat behind borders, let us seize this moment to deepen our collaboration, anchor in trust, share interests, and the dynamism of our peoples. ASEAN and Australia can chart a future defined not by division, but by partnership and common purpose. As we move forward, let us remember that our destinies are intertwined across the Indo-Pacific, and our partnership grows stronger when we act in unity. The journey ahead may be complex, but it's also filled with promise. We're advancing the green transition, enhancing regional supply chains, strengthening maritime security, or fostering deeper cultural understanding, our cooperation will unlock new opportunities, address common challenges, and shape an Indo-Pacific future of resilience and inclusive growth. Let us continue along this path with purpose, mutual respect, and a shared sense of responsibilities, so that the future we build together may uplift generations to come. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and insightful conference ahead.